Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful little journal with one envelope. I love how this has turned out. It's not hard. It even has like a waterfall effect right there on the side. I decorated mine using some journaling cards from Vintage by Me. And what I did to prep my journaling cards was I inked them up. I mounted them on some coffee dyed tracing paper. I tore around the edge and then I sewed with my machine. So they look like that. And that's what I did to prep for my project today. So that's my journaling card that I mounted. I have a little bit of lace, a paper flower, a very small label from Chapter 1 Papers. I have some sari silk that I ironed and I pleated from Crimson Heart Studios. I just think that turned out wonderful, and quite a few flat back pearls. Let's open it up. Inside, I used another label from Chapter 1 Papers, and I made a tuck spot for another one of my little journaling cards. I used some pink food dyed paper, and I decided to get my stamps out, and I stamped just the corner stamp there. Some coffee dyed papers, and then we have the signature where I used my heart beads and I tied them on the end of my signature strings. I did another little stamp there, some more pages. There are 8 pages total and one more stamp right there at the corner. And I made a built-in pocket, decorated again with another label from Chapter 1 Papers and some lace, and another one of my little journaling cards I jazzed up. And then what do we have right here? We have a tuck spot. And in this tuck spot, I have a beautiful stamped tag that I made. And I used some of that sari silk right there on the top as a tab. It fits right in there nicely, and I just think it all turned out so nicely. Now I'd like to show you how I made this so you can make your own. So how did I begin? I began with a coffee dyed envelope. Now I did coffee dye my envelope and it has come apart. Now my envelope is approximately 9 1/4 inches by 4 inches, and I'm going to have to glue my envelope back together. So adding my glue, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm just adding my glue right here on the edge, folding it up, and I am going to seal my envelope closed. Alrighty, so we've got that taken care of. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to keep I'm going to call this the back side of my envelope, because this is the side in which you would put your address if you were actually going to use it. And I'm going to fold one of the ends up 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches, and I'm going to give it a little crease here. Get it up here. There we go. And give it a crease. My bone folder. There we are. And then I'm going to take this end and I'm going to fold it over 3.5 inches. So let's do 3.5. Well, maybe I should do it this way. 3.5. Okay. 3.5. It's more like this, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. And I'm going to give it a nice little crease. Alrighty, so now we look just like this. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue this closed to make a pocket. So I'm going to add my glue right here from the fold to the edge, and from my fold to the edge. I'm going to glue this shut. Now we have our pocket already built in. And this is the front cover of our little journal. Now I have made one here, and I have gone ahead and I've inked it up. So I'm going to switch this out. It's completely the same. I'm going to switch it out because I've already got it prepped and ready to go. Now I have these little journaling cards that I showed you in the beginning, and I think I'm going to choose this one for my cover piece. And I want it to go right here, just like this. Now, the next thing that I would like to do is, I think I need to go ahead and glue this down. So as you can see, it fits pretty well. It hangs over just a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to get my art glitter glue, and I'm going to glue this onto my front of my little envelope journal that we're making. Now you could use any kind of decorative piece that you want. You could use cardstock, paper pad, you could use a picture out of a magazine, you could back it on a piece of coffee dyed tracing paper if you wanted. It looks just like that now. All right, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in my dish here. And in my dish, I have some ironed sari silk. And I ironed it, and then I pleated it with my machine. And I did the exact same way of pleating it as I do when I pleat it on my paper. Like I just have a strip of sari silk. I take a card and I run it on my machine this way, and I push my sari silk with my card to make the little ruffles. Now, if you don't have a machine and you haven't done this, you can lay your sari silk down with your glue and you can pinch it like this. I've done that many times. So what I want to do is I want to take my sari silk and I want to place it right here on the edge of my front, and I think I like this side better of my piece of sari silk that I pleated. It's kind of folded right there, so I'm kind of unfolding it, seeing if I can get it to lay down a little flatter. And I'm going to add my hot glue gun. Now, hot glue. Now, the reason why I use hot glue, it's really great for videos because once I glue it, it stays. I don't have to worry about letting it dry. It's a sure bonder, and it's high temp, and it has this real pointy tip. Now, I'm going to add my glue directly. Now, let me just look one more time before I do that. Yeah, I want it to be I don't want the edge of the paper to show. I want it to cover that. Now you could use other things. You could use lace. You could use ribbon, other type of ribbon. I don't like the way that is folded. That has folded, I should say. The sari silk has folded, and I just don't want it to be like that. So I'm going to choose, I don't like that little piece right there. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to find a section that I like. Here we go. I like that section better. So adding my glue directly onto my little front of my journal here and gluing it on. I'm going to do this right here, finish it off, and glue this down. Sorry, that was my printer. It might be recalibrating. Sorry about it. It's in the same room that I am. I never know when it's going to be doing its thing. Alrighty, trimming the ends. Get this in so I can trim it straight as possible. There we go. Alright, I'm liking how that looks. Now what I'd like to do is I'm going to take a little bit of lace. That lace is like this. It's just lighter weight lace, and it is a white lace, And I'm going to add it right on the other side. So adding my glue, I think I'm going to do this all in one swoop here, laying it down like this. There we go. Okay, and then giving it a trim. I don't really want to cut that thread. I like how that thread looks, so I'm going to lift up the lace and get underneath so I still have my thread. Alrighty, so now we're looking like this. The next thing I would like to do is I'm going to go inside. I'm not going to finish putting anything more on there right now because it's going to get too bulky and it won't lay flat. Let's bring my dish in just a little bit more here. I would like to look for another label from Chapter 1 Papers. I think this one will work nicely, and the way I'm going to use this is I'm going to use it as a tuck spot to tuck this journaling card right in there. I'm going to place my glue on two sides and then place it right in the corner. Whoa! Right in the corner, just like that. Okay, so now this will fit right in there just like that. All right, moving right along. And this is my fold right here. So it's not over my fold, so nothing's gonna bind. Right here is my other tuck spot or pocket. And I want something long. I could place that there, or I could place this one. And I will be placing in there, I need my other little piece. I should have 3 of these. Did it go flying somewhere when I dumped my stuff? Okay. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. It's on the front, Kathy. You've already glued it on. Oh boy, it's comedy hour again. Yes, it is late. It is late. All right, so I'm looking to see, is that going to fit in there? Yeah, it is, because there's my fold. I need to highlight that so I can see and you can see, because obviously, there it is. There is the fold. All right, so do I want this on there, or do I like this one on there? I can pick this up. I don't really care for either one of them, but I think that's my choice. Well, I've got this one. I can place that one on there. Oh, that one's pretty. I like that. And let's see here. I also have this little tiny pink one. That one's sweet too. Alrighty, what do I want to do here? I could do this, and I could do my stamp on either side. I could do that. That might be real sweet. Okay, so I'm going to choose this small one instead of this long piece right here. I like the color of this pink one going with the theme of how this one is turning out, this little journal. So I'm going to ink that up. And before I glue that down, I'm going to take my little corner stamp and I'm going to grab my Stays On Jet Black. And let's go ahead and ink it up. And then we're going to place it right here and stamp. Oh, that looks nice. And then right here, stamp that. And then I can take my label and put it right there in the center. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue. I'm going to glue this up and place it right there in the center. Yeah, I like how that looks. Okay, so now we've got our tuck spot, we've got our pocket, and now this is the front. I also am going to put in a little pocket right here. Remember, this is an envelope and we closed it up. Now, I've already cut this one, but this is the one that we started with, and I said we're going to use this one because I inked it. So what you want to do is right here where we made our pocket, right here we made our pocket, you're going to want to take your scissors, I'm looking for a smaller pair, and right here at the top of this pocket to just a little bit above or in front of this fold, we're going to remove this. And we're just removing a sliver just to open up the envelopes to make a pocket. Just like that. I'm going to grab that piece to show you that it's just a tiny little piece. And now there's a pocket right here. Now, I did not cover the inside. It has that little, you know, to keep it, what, like security envelope, that's what they call it, to keep people from seeing what's in your envelope. I did not cover mine. Now I have a little strip of cardstock, and we're going to make a tag like I made for this one that fits in, but we're going to make it out of a pink colored cardstock that I inked up a lot, and hopefully it will fit right in here. It surely will. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and then I'm going to mark it so I can go ahead and trim it out. I think I would like to mark it about right here. I'm going to grab my guillotine. I'm going to cut this right there. Now this is my tag. Now I have a little punch, and it does different size little tags. I'm going to go ahead and place this in here and give a punch. And there we go. Isn't that slick? It has no markings on it or anything. I can't really tell you. That just says alignment. But I did purchase it maybe about a year ago, maybe two, at Hobby Lobby. So I'm pretty sure they're still available. But I don't know if you can get them online. You probably can. I don't think they're, you know, they're not out of date or anything like that. But I really like how it makes that really nice little top. I have a little piece of that ruffled sari silk, and I'm going to glue it and use it as my little tab on the top of my tag here. So I'm just gluing it so it stays in place. I don't want to tie a knot or anything like that. I just want to just glue it. I want it to be flat. And cut that just like that. So now it will fit right in our little pocket or tuck spot, whatever you want to call this, of our envelope. Now, is it caught on something? There we go. Just like that. Oh goodness, isn't that cute? That is so cute. I think I'm going to glue these two together just a little bit more. Okay, now what I want to do on my tag, I have another little stamp. I'm looking for it. Here it is. It's that cute little flower stamp. Isn't that sweet? And I want to go ahead and stamp that on here. Now you could put a fussy cut on there if you'd like, but I just thought, oh, let's just get our stamps out. And let's use our stamp. So I got something on my pad there. There we go. Sometimes I don't get my stamps out as much as I should. I've got so many, and I really wanted to use them. Oh, I just think that's a lovely, lovely stamp. I have no idea where I got the stamp at. I do not know. But it's a botanical, it has different botanicals, but I just think that's so sweet. You could even take some colored pencils and you could color the petals if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to pop it back in right here like this. There is something that's in there that doesn't allow it to go down in real freely. All right, so now back to this decorating. So I've got my papers ready and they're right over here. And I have 2 of the food dyed, they're kind of a pinky color. And then I have 2, I thought I had 2 of the, yeah I do, it's over here hiding, of the coffee dyed papers. And, well, that one's awfully big. Or is that one awfully small? Let's put these together. And let's just look. Yeah, that was kind of small. Do I need another one? I think I do. I think I need to get another coffee dyed. Whoopsie. It was over here on the corner of my table. Should have just paused the video and got it instead of done all that, but that's okay. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, so these pages, let me find that one that's small because that one's out. These pages are 8.5 by 4. So what I want to do is I want another one because I have 2 of the coffee dyed and then 2 of the food dyed that has coffee, obviously, was mixed in with the pink food dye. And I'm going to bring in my guillotine. I'm going to give it a chop right here. Okay. You guys, I wanted to tell you that we have this huge winter storm that's coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, Friday. It might come in Thursday night. This video is going up Thursday. So I don't know, because we could get ice. And if we get an ice storm instead of a snowstorm, I might lose my electricity or internet. I could even do it in a snowstorm. So just in case I don't have anything, you know, for Friday, that's probably why. Because I'm planning on having a video on Friday. But if we're having, you know, issues and I don't have internet, then I won't be able to make a video. So that's what's going on with me. It's the weather. I think it'll be fine, but you never know. You never know about these things. Now, the next thing I did when I made this one is I actually tore my pages. I'm not sure I'm going to tear my pages here. I think they will be just fine if I don't tear them. Well, I have plenty of room. I can. So I can't find my tear ruler that I made. I actually made 2 of them and I can't find them. They might be out in my studio. But I'm going to tear this. Maybe like this. See if I can do this. There. Yeah, that really looks nice to go ahead and tear it. So I found that tearing up instead of tearing down works better for me. I don't know why, and I don't know if, you know, some of you say, well, yeah, that's how you do it. Well, I don't know. I don't tear a lot. I'm trying to get the hang of that little bit of a messy look. I like the way that looks when people put things together and it's, I don't want to really say messy. They're just not, you know, clean cut, and they might be crinkly, or they might be, you know, what I'm trying to say. Well, I'm kind of wanting to do a little bit more of that style. So hence is why I'm tearing this. Now I also know that it will enhance my torn look if I highlight it a little bit with a little bit of ink. Not a lot. I'm just drawing attention to the fact that these edges of the pages are torn. So how does it look now? It looks great. So I think I'd like to go pink, coffee dyed, pink. Let me pick it up. Coffee dyed. Okay, now another thing. I thought I'd like to stamp this also. Yeah, doesn't that look great? I think that just looks great. It just kind of goes with the theme of this. I'd like to use this corner stamp again, and I'm putting it on my little plexiglass here. And I think I want to do my first one. So I want to do this first page, and I think it's easier to do it before I go and sew it into my signature, especially after I finish decorating my front, because I'm not finished with my front yet. And once I put that paper flower on the front, it will become bulky and it will make it difficult, and that's sweet, difficult to stamp. So I've got that one, and I think I'd like to do, maybe I'd like to do one on this side of the page. Okay, it goes that way. I want to do it on the corner, like that. Okay, so that's going to go here. And then I'm going to put one, this is the signature, the inside of the signature, the center, I should say. Let's do another one right here. Okay, so that's the inside. And now let's do this right here, maybe right there. So I'm doing more stamping on this one than I did on my example, and it was because I sewed my signature in before I stamped my pages, and thus I really couldn't do anything on certain sides because of my paper flower that caused me not to be able to stamp because it wasn't flat enough. There, that's going to be gorgeous. All right, so enough of that corner stamp. We've got that taken care of. Now, I'm going to remove these right now because I don't want to accidentally, for some way, sew in something I shouldn't. So I've got pink, sew these into the signature, get in it caught. 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's 8 pages. That's about all I would like to put in here because I don't want to make it bulky. I'm placing it in my little envelope. I have got my small little paper clips. I'm going to just paper clip this right in. I can take this out too. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know about my little sheet that I always use when I sew in my signature. It is usually about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide. And it is long. It is as long as your journal. You fold it in half, and then the long way. And then you fold it in half again, and then one more time. And you crease it really well. Then you open it up, and you mark the intersections of the folds with a pencil or pen. Place it in the center of your signature at the fold. Now I have a little piece of packing that I use, and these little dots are where you're going to put your hole with your awl so that you can sew your signature in, and that way they're all evenly spaced. Now, if that doesn't bother you not to have them even, or if you're really good at eyeballing, which I am so not, if I just eyeballed it and I did it that way, and if it was off just a little, I wouldn't like my journal anymore because it would just bug the bejeebers out of me. So that's why I really have to have this little thing, because I don't want to not like my little journal or big journal or whatever journal I'm making with a signature in it. I'm measuring it. 1, 2, 3, and just a little bit more, not a lot, because I'm just going to tie on 2 little hearts as my dangle. And let's see, here's my very thin, long needle. And then I'm going in the center. And then I'm holding it here. There we go. Then I'm going to go in one of the other holes. Sorry, I'm out of the frame. One of the other holes. And then I'm going to go in the last hole. Then back in the center. Very simple little stitch there. And you'll want to have your thread on either side of your signature, the long one in the center. Now I like to make mine even, so I'm going to pull this just a little bit. Let's see here. I can even this out. It's caught on itself. And if I pull it out, it's going to, let me pull it through. When I sewed it, my needle went through the thread, and so now I just have to pull it out. It's this one I have to pull out. That happens sometimes with me. When I go in back in the center, it catches that other thread, and so you have to separate them. Now let's see here. I'm trying to even these up, is what I'm trying to do, so that when I sew my signature in, why can't I get that to do? That's about as close as I'm going to get it. Check to make sure it's not caught on anything, and then tie a knot. Now, if you're using embroidery thread, you'll need to keep your journal open because you'll need to apply a little bit of wet glue at that knot, because embroidery thread, the knot won't really come undone, but it will loosen up, and then after a short amount of time, your signature will become wobbly in your journal. All right, so we've got that all sewn on. Let's go ahead and put our beads on and bring in our little dish. We can put all of this back together. So let's get it back together so it will look great. And we're going to put our little journaling cards back in. And then this one right there. Perfect. It's coming along so nicely. Now, I showed you this in my yesterday's video. I go in the hole and then I wrap it around and I go in the hole one more time. Sometimes I have to recut my thread. There it goes. Then I use my awl to help me get it up to the bottom of my journal. I'm going to leave just a little bit of space because I really want it to dangle. And I'm going to tie a double knot. So one knot right up to the bottom of that bead, and then one more knot right up to the bottom of the bead. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to trim it. Now I'm using waxed thread, bookbinding thread, but I will put a little dab of glue on the knots with my beads, and I'll do it after I get done. Before I go to bed, I like to do it, and then by the time I get up, they're just ready to go. People like to pull on beads and dangles. I don't know why, but they do. They pull on them, and then especially if you're selling them or giving them away, and then they're gonna lose their dangle. Their signature won't come out because you've knotted it right there, but they'll lose their dangles, and then that's not fun. You want to have your dangles. All right, so don't forget to put, especially if you're using embroidery thread, you definitely will need to do it then. So pushing that knot up there to the bottom of that bead, doing one more time. There we go. We got the dangles on. They're super cute. I love those little heart beads. I think they're so sweet. Now back to the front. So what I want to do here is I've got another dish here, and I'm going to get some lace here. I put a lace right here on my example right here. Now I think what I might do is I might put that lace here and let it stick over the edge. It would look like that. That would be really sweet. Let's do that. Since I didn't put the lace on the pocket like I did in my example, I'm going to put it here and let it hang over, and then it will show and add another little layer. There you are. That's really sweet. Okay, I like that. And this is what I mean by I added the lace here, and so you can really see it here. Now we're going to see it like that because we did the stamping. So there's two different ways, you know. It depends on how you want to decorate it, how it's going to turn out. I've got laces here. This is flat lace I purchased at Joann's. This is from a shirt that I bought at the thrift store. And what I think I'd like to do is just kind of put that right there at the corner. I'm just going to kind of bunch it up right there at the corner. So let's just bunch this up a little bit at the corner. Maybe something like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to actually get a larger paper clip if I can dig it out over here and hold this closed so I can get to this a little better. This is white. This is off-white. I think I want to bunch this up. Get my silicone stick for this. I'm going to bunch this up right here at the corner. Really bunch it up at the corner. I need a little bit more, here, need another glue stick for my glue gun. There we go. Need a little bit more glue here to kind of bunch it a little more, so it's not so wild. There, it's a little wild right here. I want to fix that, bring it in, because I really want to see that creamier there. So you can see it's bunched up. Now I have a little paper flower. It's got a stem on it. I'm going to trim that stem off. And I'm going to glue it on right there. I'm going to just glue it right in the center of that lace that we just put on. Pulling it down just so it grabs a hole. I have this little tiny label from Chapter 1 Papers. Tiny. I just love these tiny little labels. They're so cute. And they're at the diagonal. And I'm going to pop just a tiny bit of glue right here and pop it right under there, so it's just a tiny little label. I've got a lot of little flat back pearls here. I have some bigger ones that I'm going to put at the top of my sari silk here, my ruffle. So I'm going to pop it right here. And then I'm going to pop the other one right here and get that. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm going to turn it There we go, like that. I've got those two in. You see that one? That one's kind of hiding back there. And I thought that I would like to put one on each corner. So over here, and over here. That's kind of the next size. So let's get that done. So just a little bit of glue and pop it right on there on top of the glue. Like that. And then this one. Uh-oh. It turned. It's turned on me. There we go. All right, and then for right here, I thought, let's put a little cluster. Now the ones that I did for my example were underneath that silk, that lacy silk, but I think I'm going to pop this one on top. And I think I'd like 3. So I'm just going to get that one. Oops. Yeah, that one didn't get stuck. I got to get it stuck to my finger so I can get it stuck in the glue. There. Oh goodness, I do think that's pretty. Let's take that paper clip off. Alrighty, let's move that out of the way. I've got this one that we just made together. Let's get everything moved out of the way. We just made this one together, and then we made this one. I'm going to go ahead and glue this corner down. It's kind of pulled up. There. I don't know which one I think is prettier. I think they're both beautiful. I love how it's turned out with only one envelope, you guys. It turned out, and we've got like a waterfall. We've got 2 pockets and a tuck spot, or 2 tuck spots and a pocket. I'm not sure how to say that. We've got dangles and a signature. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.